conference. So how many of you are managers here? Okay. And how many leaders here? Okay, probably the same hands, right? As we think about managers and leaders. So I was very fortunate. 33 years ago, I moved to New York. And about 25 years ago, I was fortunate enough to come into insurance business. And when I entered this business, I had only one goal, that one day I want to become a manager. And first year, luckily, I did MDRD production, and I was made a manager. I was so excited, happy, and I thought that I'm going to be the best manager in the world. So they told me, as a manager, recruit, recruit, and recruit. So I started hiring everyone that I knew. And I hired a friend of mine, his name was Abu. Abu was a smart, hardworking person. And I asked Abu, that Abu, this is the best career that you can be in, and I need your partnership. Abu had a great start, but after a few months, Abu came to my office. And when when an agent comes to your office and say, I want to talk to you, you know what it means. They are giving up on you. So he told me, listen, I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave me, but I don't think I can make it in this business. I was very upset with Abu. And I said, you really disappointed me. And you're a failure. You will never do well in life. And I was very upset. And then I let Abu go. A few years later, I became more sensible and we became friends. This is the picture of Abu from 2017, speaking at my leadership class at NYU where I teach. Why did I invite Abu to my leadership class after 25 years? Because today, Abu is Chief Information Officer of Chobani Yogurt, which is the second largest yogurt company in America. And Abu was very successful. Abu did not fail. I did as a manager. Because all I was trying to do is just hire people and not become a leader. And many of us do that. So, when you look at this picture, what business opportunity do you see? Many people look at this picture and say, wow, this is beautiful. We can put a hotel here. Maybe we can do boarding. Maybe we can do some skiing or training. And most successful business managers will come up with ideas that can convert this into a resort. But if you show the same picture to a leader, he or she would say, what is beyond the mountains? How can I take my team there and innovate a place that no one has ever been to? And that's the vision and intuition of a leader. They see things that many of us do not see. Now, what's the difference between managers and leaders? Please understand that both managers and leaders are critical for any organizations. I have seen many companies run successful for a short term without a leader. But I have never seen a company stay without a manager. Because management is an activity that gets job done through people. And that's what we all do. But leadership is an activity that motivates people to get out of their comfort zone and follow an individual and trust that person blindly, believing that he or she can take us to a place where we cannot go on ourselves. As Dick said, that managers are developed. I personally believe that all of us were born leaders. If you think about it, look at a young child or an infant, 2 years old. They have all the leadership quality. They're risk takers. They're resilient. They're communicators. Yes, they are. Even if they cannot speak, they know how to get the things that they want. And they always win. But when we grow up, we let that leadership go away from us. Because we are told by this world, no, you can't do this. You don't do this. No, don't. These are the words we hear as a child. Some of us are very resilient and we stay there. So why do we need managers and leaders? First is for discipline. Think about Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in jail. In 1994, he became the president of South Africa. He could have easily taken a revenge from the people who put him in jail. He did not. And that's why South Africa survived. Think about Steve Jobs. He is the biggest innovator and marketer of our time. He had no marketing degree and no engineering degree. But he really innovated things which we did not need, but we want. He really changed the world and improved our lives. Do you believe that Apple has improved our lives? There are over 1 billion Apple devices in use today in this world. If Steve Jobs was not there, this wouldn't happen. And look at this. She was 15 years old, Malala, when she got shot. And the reason she got shot, because she was promoting education for young girls. Now, mostly when people get shot, they stay out of trouble. She retaliated, and she said, no, I'm going to continue my mission. And at age 17, she became the youngest Nobel Prize winner in the history. The average age for a Nobel Prize winner is 62 years old. These were all leaders who had the tenacity to change things. So think about it. What are the traits of good manager? What are we taught in this business? When I became a manager, I was always taught, find recruits, train them, get production out of the people, solve their problems, and then manage people. Isn't that what we learn? So how do leaders do differently? Leaders don't find recruits. They attract people. Leaders don't train agents, they develop people. Leaders don't get production. They exceed the expectation. They show you new goals. They don't solve problems. They empower people so you can solve your own problems. And also, they don't manage people. Because if you manage people, it's going to take 70% of your time. You need to lead people so they can manage not only themselves, but others. So if you think about the difference between a manager and a leader, it's their approach, how they look at things. So when you give the same task to a manager and a leader, they do it differently. So let's assume you're having a meeting, and you tell both of them, you're going to have a meeting. A manager will always think about the agenda, what time it starts, what's covered in the agenda, what time it ends. And that's a manager's job. Leader would never think about it. Leader would think about, how do I establish direction? I can bet you Chris did not have any idea who's on the roster today. He looked in the morning and said, oh, okay, because he was thinking of something else. How could I really have an impact on the people who are here? And if you give the same task of meeting objectives, manager objective is that the meeting should start on time and on time. Every speaker who's supposed to be there gets there. But a leader is always thinking about, how do I motivate people during that? That's the objective of a leader. And if you think about the outcome, managers are very happy when the meeting ends successfully. Oh, we don't have to worry about it. But a leader is always thinking about, did I really have a change that's going to have an impact on the people who were at the meeting? And once again, they both are very, very important. So we need to understand. Remember, there are three things that are essential for leadership. The first is knowledge. How many of you believe knowledge is power? I kind of disagree. It is power only when it's applied. If I tell you the lottery winning numbers for the next 10 years, and you never play lottery and you never do anything with it, that knowledge is useless. A lot of us has knowledge. We have knowledge that, hey, did you know that France is the most visited country in the world? It's a good knowledge to have, but it's not going to have any impact on our business. Now, the good thing about knowledge is that you can have knowledge, you can learn it through listening, watching, and observing. Second is intelligence. Once you have that knowledge, and you put your mind to it, and you translate that knowledge into useful information, it becomes intelligence. You can also learn intelligence by reading, listening to videos, watching videos, and talking to other people. So both knowledge and intelligence can be learned. So this is a skill that can be acquired. Now, wisdom is something that you have it or you don't have it. And if you look at wise people, they have wisdom. Steve Hawkins was wise. Einstein was wise. And there are many other people. It would be a crime if you had wisdom and you did not apply that. It is very, very important for us to understand these differences and see how we can do that. So how is the leadership changing in new times? Your audience has changed. Our world is not prepared to be led by women. I am predicting next 10 to 20 years, all of us will be working for women and younger people. Men are not prepared for that. We need to spend time in telling and preparing our leaders to understand that women are going to be leaders. Why do I say that? Because I teach at a graduate class, and I ask all the other professors, 80% of the students are women. They're getting more knowledge, intelligence, and they're becoming more smarter. They were always smart, but they're getting more opportunity now in the workplace. So we need to understand that. What else is changing? Changing rules of engagement. What we have learned may not work anymore. Things are changing on a regular basis. The techniques that you learned 25 years ago, some of them are still classic, but many of them are very different. 25 years ago, when I joined this industry, we had a 15-page application. 25 years later, that application is 60 pages. Think about how a young Messina is going to connect with them. Say, what is this? I don't want to write a book. So our industry has not been disrupted, but as Adam was saying, be careful. Companies are spending a lot of money on disrupting our industry. Our job is really to stay. If we don't show the leadership, we may be out of business. And by the way, leadership is different than entrepreneurship. There are many successful entrepreneurs who are leaders, but not every entrepreneur is a leader. Because when you become a successful entrepreneur, all you prove is you can put up a company and you can run that company. But your leadership is not often tested. So we need to understand that leadership is different than management. Management is a science. You do things whatever is told to you. Leadership is an art. You really have to custom create every action based on the person that you're dealing with. Management is transactional. You hire people, you give them a production goal, and you get that done, and you're happy. But leadership is transformational. You take a person who never thought about being in sales, and one day becomes very successful. You change people's lives. You're in business of transformation. You should not become transactional. Don't manage people. Lead people. Because this is critical and important for us to understand. Failure is very important. Success does not teach you much. Failure does. And it's very important. If you have not failed in your life, you have not lived your life. Just don't fail on the same things over and over again. Fail on new things. And that's why kids are so successful, because they're not afraid of failure. Ask yourself a question. After this meeting today, take a selfie and say, today is my day one of leadership. And maybe you're not prepared for leadership, and that's okay. We need managers as well. But if you really have what it takes to be a leader, then make sure you transfer and transition from a management to a leadership role. Last year, I do a lot of personal coaching. I went to the CEO, and he asked me, he says, okay, I want you to help me being a personal coach. Tell me a little bit about your company. And I shared about my thoughts and who we are. He said, my company is much bigger than you. Why should I be coached by you? I said, that's a great question. I said, have you ever heard of Michael Jordan? He said, yeah. I said, Roger Federer? He said, yes. I said, Muhammad Ali? He said, of course. I said, what's common between all three? Well, they were all great sports person and probably the best at their game. I said, do you know they all had coaches? And their coaches were not better than them. Michael Jordan's coach didn't have a better basketball game than him. Muhammad Ali, you couldn't teach him better boxing. All a coach does is gives you an outside perspective at some time you may be missing. So it's important for all of us. Get a coach and a mentor in life. You're going to learn a lot. Become a mentor to your mentee. You're also going to grow a lot. It's a journey. I'm going to discuss more in detail today at 3:30 at my workshop. But I want to leave you with this video, which really defines management and leadership. How someone can do that role in one. Please watch this video. Can we have the sound, please? have in life is your mother. And if you understand that how mothers really step into a leadership role when it's needed, and whoever we are today is because of our mothers. And especially in this part of the world, we call them tiger moms. And I always say that Asian parents want their kids to be happy. American parents want their kids to be happy, and Asian parents want their kids to be successful. We put so much pressure, but at the end of the day, you see that mothers always land on their feet, and they are the greatest managers and leaders of all time. See you later in the afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tariq. Thank you.